As long as we don't make it over to pillaging and plundering, God was cool with us. We just had to start going to church on Sundays. But he's talking about a nature, even if we never harmed anybody, even if we helped people, even if everybody liked us and called us a good neighbor. He says that we were dead because we followed the ways of the world. You see that, right? We're dead because we follow the ways of the world, and we tend to think that if we were good people, if we were nice people, socially acceptable people before Jesus, then a phrase like dead in your trespasses and sin, it doesn't really apply to us. It applies to us because the Bible says it applies to us, but it really, really, really applies to all the bad people out there a lot more than it applies to us. There were some people out there who were like really dead in their trespasses and really dead in their sin because they had a whole lot of big trespasses and a whole lot of those big sins. I ain't never really done nothing to nobody, so I wasn't like dead. I was like kind of dead. I was just a little dead. I was a little dead. I was half dead. I was the walk. I was trying to stop. I was the walking dead. I can't help it. But I was just a little bit dead. I wasn't dead like them. They're dead. I was just a little bit dead. I was like mostly alive, but, dead. And I'm trying to present this in a way that we can all take it, but honestly, that's how people perceive themselves. That's how people perceive themselves. Some of us will extend that to other people. We say things like, oh, he is such a good person if he'll only go to church. That's the only thing he's missing. The only thing he's missing is that he wants to make sure he catches the 10 o'clock NFL game instead of coming to church. But if he would just change that one thing about him, he's there. No. Text says full that we should be because of what God has done. This should elicit all of the response because of what God has done. Paul says before we lived just like everybody else, before God did what he did in us, before we responded to his offer and trusted him, we lived like everybody else, and our fleshly nature was our motivator. Our fleshly nature was the determiner of our actions. And this next part is key. Where is it? Right, last sentence in verse 3. This next part is key. Like all the others. Does everybody see that? Like all the others, we were, what are those two words? By nature, objects of God's wrath. Like all the others, we were by nature objects of God's wrath. Paul is saying we